The priest has prepared a few scriptures. All right, so we praise it. Children of Israel will praise the Most High on this Shabbat day. So we're going to get Colossians 3 and verse 17. Just giving thanks to the Most High once again. And whatsoever ye do in word or deed, do all by Hashem HaMashiach Yahushua, giving thanks to the Most High and the Father by HaMashiach Yahushua.
Right, so everything we do the most on HaMashiach Yahushua's name, that's the true spiritual powers of heaven that's going to be established right here on earth in these last days. Thus saith the Most High. Give me Job, the first chapter, the 9 to 12 verse.
Job 1 and 9. Then Satan answered the Most High and said, doth Job fear Yahweh for naught? Hast not thou made a hedge about him and about his house?
So now, all of us are in this walk. Okay, some of you are new, some of us have been in it for years, for decades. And there's going to come a time in your life that you're going to be tested. Okay? So you're going to have to make it up in your mind whether you're going to be hard body or you're going to fold, okay, like a bad blackjack. Okay? Because it's going to come. Don't just think we're going to praise the Most High when things are good. Because there's going to come a time where things are going to be going in not your favor. Okay, I'm talking, some of you, we counsel the minister constantly on a council rotation. So there's going to come a time where your faith is going to be tested. Okay, read that again.
Job 1 verse 10. Has not thou made an hedge around him?
So a lot of us have that hedge. You have that hedge that, if you didn't have that hedge, that all type of demonic forces. Okay, you ever been on a highway that had like a 10-car collision and your car was right behind that car and you just missed the accident? Okay, things have happened that the angels encamped around you. Okay, some might have one angel assigned, some two, some three, some multiple. But there's going to come a time where Satan is going to go to the Most High and ask, listen, can I take this hedge around for this individual to see if you really love the Most High? Okay, come on.
Verse 10 once again. Has not thou made a hedge about him and about his house and about all that he hath on every side? Hast thou blessed the works of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land? But put forth thy hand now, and touch all that he hath, and he will curse thee to thy face.
So Satan's like, listen, take away everything that you blessed him with. Take away his car, his house, his family, and see if you still want to bless your name. Okay, a lot of us have gone through certain situations. A lot of us are going to face certain situations. But this is going to prove you whether you're going to be worthy or not to go to the kingdom. Okay, the kingdom is not going to be you put something in a hat, pull your name, or you have some people that think they already have a chosen seat in the kingdom. Okay, we're up here as well. Okay, we're fearful and trembling to get into the kingdom as well. There's nobody that has a sure or bought seat, okay, in the kingdom. If anybody tells you that, then they're lying. Okay, come on.
And Moses said unto Satan, behold, all that he hath is in thy power. Only upon himself put not forth thy hand. So Satan went forth from the presence of the Most High.
Right, so a lot of people don't understand that what? That Satan is in obedience to the Most High. Okay? But Satan cannot do anything that the Most High doesn't give him permission to. So in Job's, and we represent Job, all of us in Israel, we represent Job on a daily basis. Because we go out there, we went through it earlier in a leap of faith. The fact alone that we believe in a God that cannot be seen, people think that we're crazy. Okay, a lot of them if you watch these guys in the conscious community, the Kemet, they make fun of us all the time that we believe in an unseen God. But we know that the Most High is real. Okay, a lot of us when we go into certain situations, we call upon the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and He has answered our prayer. He may not always come the time we want Him to, but what? The Most High is always on time. Okay, and a lot of times we pray for things. A lot of times we pray for things that we think that we need, but a lot of times it's stuff that we want. Okay, the Most High knows exactly what do you exactly need, and He gives us what? Our daily bread. Okay, from there, give me Psalms 34 verse 7. So we gotta thank the Most High that presently He has a hedge around us. All the individuals that came in from wherever destination. What the Most High had a hedge around you that you got here safely and sound. And we ask the Most High that He deliver you back to your home in one piece as well. Right. Because you're on the road, you see accidents happen. Okay, things can happen. The Most High has natural what they call natural disasters, but what is that? That's the hand of the Most High. Look, they had the other day that shooting in the high school. All those children got shot up. But now they want to pray. They want to pray to God. But they did what? They took prayer out of the schools. I brought this up the other day. I was teaching in Broward County, and I told the children if they behave themselves, so I'll give them a pizza party. So at the end of the week, I had 2 slices of pizza extra. So I said, how I determined who I was going to get the extra slice. So I said, who in here knows the Lord's Prayer? Right? Out of 16, 17, 18 children, only one child knew the Lord's Prayer. Only one child. But you ask them to say the Pledge of Allegiance, they can say that thing frontward to backward, backward to frontward. So what is that showing? That our children are not being taught the Most High at home. Okay. That's not even a ratio out of 1 to 18. Okay, one child out of 18, that's not even 50, that's not even what, 10%. So this is a sad situation. But they knew the Pledge of Allegiance. And they said that thing proud, strongly. Okay, so it was a sad day for me. But and also doing that, you have to be careful. I don't know, I hear stuff about they tell you can't talk about certain things in the schools. I go on this the spirit of the Most High. But it's the way you have to word things, whatever. But it's a sad thing when our children can say the Pledge of Allegiance, okay, and they don't know the Lord's Prayer. Read what you got.
Psalms 34, verse 7.
Come on.
The angel of the Most High encamped around about them that fear Him, and deliver them. Oh, taste and see that the Most High is good. Blessed is the man that trusts in Him.
Right, so the Most High encamps around those that fear Him and keep His commandments. Okay, that's why we always talking to do what? To rehearse these righteous acts. Okay, us being given the commandments is what sets us apart from all the other nations. That's why we are under the curses under these scriptures, because why? It was foretold by Moses that if we did not keep the commandments, then what? That all these curses will fall upon us. Okay, so it is for our benefit to do what? To keep these commandments. Okay, that gives us a longevity of life. Give me Sirach 2 verse 1. It's nothing, there's a couple of scriptures, nothing long and drawn out. This is something to make you ponder upon that. Don't think that, we're in the kingdom yet, that things are going to be good, because a lot of your family, a lot of friends, they're looking for you to not have a good time while you're in this world to prove you that you're not in the truth. Okay? So they're going to want to see things happen wrong for you. They're going to want to see you not prosper. Okay, so they can sometimes mock you, okay, ridicule you, say, well, I told you so. But these things are expected. Because the Most High said what? I chastise those who I love. Okay, read that.
Surah 2 verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve Yahweh,
If what?
if thou come to serve Yahweh,
Right, so who's that speaking to? Who's he talking to in the scripture? Huh? Who? Right, you gotta personalize yourself when you read the scriptures. Because coming up, when we went to Sunday school, we went to church. When the Bible talked about Israel, we thought it was talking about some other type of people, right? We didn't know it was talking about us. But now we can look at the scripture and say, wow, we can relate to these scriptures because wow, we see that it's talking about us as a people. Read that again.
Surah 2 and 1. My son, if thou come to serve Yahweh,
Come on.
prepare thy soul for temptation.
Well, it says, get your mind right, prepare yourself for temptation. Because a lot of stuff is going to be out there. Okay? But you have to know, you have to try to identify these things before it happens. A lot of times we might not see it. A lot of times we have to go through things for a learning experience. Okay? And a lot of times you might experience something that later on you can offer wisdom to somebody else going through the same thing that you went through. So don't think that because you went through something, it was in vain, it was for naught. That you might be able to help somebody else that might be going through the same thing you're going through. Okay, come on.
Set thy heart aright.
Right, your heart representing what? Your mind, come on.
And constantly, endure.
Right, and constantly endure. Okay? The race is not for the swift, but what? For those that can endure. Okay? Everybody here is on a different pace. Don't try to match yourself with somebody else in this walk. Okay? Just like you see in a marathon, people at a different pace. But ultimately, somebody's going to, the person from the back ends up in the front. But they're at their own pace. So be on this walk in your own pace and do what? And constantly endure, meaning what? That things are going to happen. Things are going to happen. But you got to constantly put your trust in the Most High that He's going to do what? That He's going to deliver you. Come on.
Set thy heart aright and constantly endure.
Come on.
And make not haste in time of trouble.
Right. Make not haste in time of trouble, meaning when something comes about, you just leave. Well, what happened to so-and-so? We haven't seen it for months. Okay, I myself, I may reach out, I call people now and then that I haven't seen. I do ride-bys, go by their house, okay, to see, what's going on. This happens. But you have to have a secure foundation. And I went through in Thursday's class, what is that foundation? The Most High, the Mashiach Yahushua, and His law, statutes, and commandments. Because in this world, you see all kind of different doctrines coming out there. Okay? People try to pull you this way, that way. Okay? Spouse, children, your job. Okay? You have some jobs that are forcing out people to do what? To work on Sabbath. And by the way, any of the brothers and sisters that visit us today, if you need a letter, or anybody in the congregation needs a letter to get off on the Sabbath, please contact me and I can have that drawn up for you, a notarized letter that will help you get the Sabbath, Sabbath off. So there's no reason for any of our people to feel like you're forced to work on the Sabbath. Okay, that is a holy commandment the Most High gave the children of Israel. Okay, read that again.
Verse 2, Surah 2 and 2. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble. Cleave unto Him, and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end.
So this is what we're looking to be. We're looking to be increased at the last end. Like we pointed out earlier about giving tithes or giving offerings, that the Most High is going to multiply you sevenfold. So if you go through your tribulations, your trials and tribulations, and you are found worthy, the Most High is going to bless you beyond imagination. So don't think about what you're going through, but think about what the Most High is going to do for you in the end as being what? A faithful servant. Okay? That's what we want to be, faithful servants. And that when the time when Mashiach Yahushua comes back, We want to be those that are able to be what clothed in those white robes, those white garments, arrayed in white. That we will find worthy to go to the kingdom of heaven. That's going to be established where? Right here on earth. Come on.
Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully.
Do what?
Take cheerfully.
Now, sometimes, it's easy to say, but when you're going through affliction, that may be, but most I said, take it cheerfully. Okay? Whatever is brought upon you, take cheerfully. Come on.
And be patient and be patient.
So that's the key. We got to be patient. We got to be patient because why? The Most High's time, you man Peters, the Most High's time is not our time. You may think that you've been waiting a long time for something, but in the Most High's eyesight, it was maybe like 2 minutes. Okay? So you just have to be what? You have to be patient. You man Peters. 2 Peter's 3:8.
Yeah.
We got to be patient. Patience is something that's attained over a period of time, establishing a relationship with the Most High. Okay? And no matter how many times the Most High brings us through a situation, a lot of times we still get that spirit of doubt. Okay? But that is continually establishing a relationship with the Most High, that you are sure that when something comes upon you, that what? That the Most High got you. There's no doubt in your mind that whatever that you're about to go through, that the Most High got your back. That's the point that you have, that's the level that you have to get yourself to. That nothing brought upon you is too heavy or too much for the Most High to handle for you. Read that.
2 Peter 3 verse 8.
Come on.
But beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing.
Come on.
That one day is with Yahweh as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years as one day.
Right, so that's the ratio. 1 day is 1,000 years. So our time with the Most High is not the same time. Okay, so we have to wait upon the Most High's time to establish whatever He wants to establish, if it be His will. Okay, the Most High hasn't. He does not have to give us what we pray for. But what do we know? That the Most High does not answer who? Sinners. He does not answer sinners. So that's why we have to continue to do what? To rehearse these righteous acts and keep the commandments of the Most High. We are not justified through the law, okay? But we are saved through the balance of the law and the faith of Mashiach Yahushua. It is with that true balance, okay? Let's go back to Sirach.
Sirach 2 and verse 4. And whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state.
It said when thou art changed to a lower state, because that can happen. But don't think because you're in this lower state that you're the Most High to save you. It's just that you're going through a stage in your life where the Most High is seeing if you're worthy. Okay? All of us have to go through this. No one is exempt from that. And we saw Job. Job was considered what? What type of man was Job considered to be?
Perfect man.
He was a perfect man, right? But Satan still wanted to go to him to have all these things brought upon him just so he could be found worthy. So if Job was found to be perfect, okay, and we are striving for perfection, what makes you think we're not going to have to go through that? Okay, so at any point in time, any one of us have to go through the same thing Job had to go through. But you have to have the correct tools during that time, and we're going to go through that as well. Okay, you can't have a physical weapon in a spiritual battle. Okay? You're not going to win. Okay, come on. Look at that, Peter's. Okay, back to Sirach.
Right. 2 verse 5. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity.
Right. So what's the reason why gold? Why do they put gold in the fire? To do what?
Test, purify.
To purge out the impurities. Okay. So now, acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. So we go through the furnace of adversity to make us who we are today. A lot of us are here today because we went through certain things in life while we're here. Right? Most had to jack ladders to get to this point, right? I know a situation, a brother, there was a brother that his wife came to the knowledge, and he used to give her a hard time. He used to mock and make fun of her. He ended up getting a stroke. Okay? So we have to be mindful that, the Most High does not take his word lightly. Okay? So he can, we read earlier how he said what? Stand aside, let me smoke these people. Okay? Because that's the type of power we serve. We serve Most High, he said what? He's a man of war. When you read the Bible, he said he has the book of Chronicles of War. Okay? When certain nation heard the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob's name, it brought great fear upon them. That's the type of power that we serve. But the churches teach that what? That God is all love. There's no such scripture. There's no such verse in the Bible that says that God, he's only about love. And they even misinterpret the definition of love. Okay? Because the true definition of love is what? The keeping the commandment. Okay? So now, when they put someone out this Heather has two mommies, okay, in this picture, it shows like what? It's a loving family, right? But this is not love according to the Most High. Okay, so a lot of people use the term love loosely in the society without having a true understanding of what it actually means. Okay, come on.
Just to add on to the verse that we are in Sirach, I'd like you to get Revelations 3 and verse 18. Because as the priest is bringing out, if gold is tried in the furnace, we have to go in the furnace. Everybody understand that? You gotta want to go through the furnace. Because sometimes we try to avoid the furnace. We try to avoid the problem. We say, oh, I don't want to say nothing because I don't want to go through no problems. Right? So you hold back righteousness. You hold back the words of the Most High. You don't want to profess Yahweh. But the Messiah taught us, he said, listen, if you're ashamed to profess me, I'm not going to profess you. Right? So we have to make sure that we are speaking, right, the words of the Father. That we are standing up for righteousness in our different environments, wherever we're at. Read that.
Revelation 3, verse 18. I counsel thee to buy of me gold tried in the fire.
Right, he said, buy of me gold tried in the fire. Now, we just read with that gold, with that fire. What's the fire? We just read it. What is it? Adversity. So he said, I'm telling you to go through these adversities. I'm telling you to do so. Read on.
That thou mayest be rich.
That thou mayest be rich. Because you got to go through it to get the blessing. You can't get the blessing if you don't go through it. Everybody understand this? So you think that you're going to slide into the kingdom? It's not, you don't work that way. You're supposed to have opposition. You're supposed to have a little problem. But if you hold tight, it will pass. Right? Read on.
And white raiment, that thou mayest be clothed, and that the shame of thy nakedness do not appear.
Go on.
And anoint thine eyes with eye salve, that thou mayest see.
Right, so what? Put on that white raiment. What's the white raiment represent? Righteousness. Okay? But you got to go through that fire to get to that righteousness. To establish that righteousness. Okay? And eye salve that you might see. So now what? Open your eyes up. Now you have what? That's understanding. All right, read on.
As many as I love.
As many as I what?
As many as I love.
So the Heavenly Father says, as many as he loved, read on.
I rebuke and chasten.
I'm going to rebuke and chasten. Meaning that you're going to go through some things. And you go through because the Most High love you. Because if he didn't love you, he'd let you go ahead with your wickedness. Right? But because he loved you, he what? He straightened you out. Right? Just like our parents straightened us out. Huh? That's that type of love. Huh? That's the type of love we're looking for. Okay? So as much as he loved, he rebuked and chastened, meaning he correct and punish you. Read on. He says,
Be zealous therefore and repent.
Be zealous therefore and repent. So what? You got to be zealous. What does it mean to be zealous?
Have a passion.
Right, to be passionate, to be fired, to be lit, to be ready. Right? To not to be afraid. You can't be zealous and be scared. Everybody understand that? You got to go into this thing. Right? Where's your energy? Where's your power? You know what? You're going to establish the word of the Most High. Let's go. No, but you might get locked up. So, right? I got to go do this work. I got to profess the word of the Most High. Right? Hitting the streets is one thing, but what else are you dealing with your family now? And grandpa, they don't want to hear all that Israelite stuff. You know what I mean? But when you come around, guess what? Your fingers will be sweet. You got to be tucking your fingers. Right? You better not be tucking your fingers, huh? That's right, because you have to. And when they say, well, man, why you coming your fingers? Listen, I have to. Right? Most High watching me. Right? So I'm not really worried about what man's seeing. Father watching me. So I got to make sure I'm establishing this. If I got to go through some fire over it, so be it. I'll just become refined in that fire. I'll become better because of that fire I went through. Right? Not till you get hit with some hard questions, do you understand how to deliver some hard answers. Everybody understand that? All right. Back to
give me 1 Peter 4 and 12.
1 Peter 4 and 12. First Peter 4, verse 12. Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you.
Don't think it's something strange. We telling you that it's going to happen.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
It's not. Don't take it as a surprise. Okay, don't say that others didn't warn you. Okay, so it's gonna happen. Okay, the Most High and Peter, the other apostles, they traveled around and they went to different places. And this is not something that's isolated in one place. It's all over. Because I meet with other leaders, different places, and things. My concerns and some of the concerns that they have in different places. Okay, so read that again.
1 Peter 4, verse 12. Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial.
So we just read about what? That furnace of what?
Affliction.
Of affliction, of adversity. Okay, come on.
Which is to try you.
Is this what?
To try you.
It's to try you to see whether you're going to be worthy to go to the kingdom. You're not just going to slide into the kingdom. You're not going to win a lottery ticket. No, listen. Esau's wicked. He might even come out with a lottery. Like if you buy a lottery ticket, you can win a ticket to heaven. I see. I can't put nothing past him. I'm surprised he didn't come out with that yet. Okay, come on.
As though some strange thing happened unto you.
Right, as though some strange thing happened to you. This is a coincidence. No, it's not a coincidence. Okay, we're gonna have to go through the furnace of affliction. Okay, to be found worthy. Okay, Satan is seeking to devour each and every one of us, knowing that what? Knowing that he has but a short time left. Okay, this kingdom is falling. It's falling really fast. But I see a lot of brothers and sisters, like the brothers that are out there, they're focusing on Esau and the nations. What we have to understand that it's time that when Esau is going down, we are rising. So what do we have to do? We have to become more obedient to the Lord's statutes and commandments. Because the Most High said his judgment is going to start where? It's going to start in his house. And who's the house of the Most High? Israel. Okay, so he's going to start with us first. So we got to make sure that we're on our P's and Q's. All right, let's go back to Surah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll pick up with the 5th verse, 2 and 5. For gold is tried in the fire, and successful men in the furnace of adversities. Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright, and trust in him. Ye that fear Yahweh, wait for his mercy and go not aside lest ye fall.
Right, so now don't get impatient, don't fall out, don't get double-minded. Because it said, if you go away from the Most High, it said, what? Lest you fall. Okay? So in this journey, in this walk, in this furnace of affliction, we still got to keep our eyes on the prize. Okay? Come on.
Ye that fear Yahweh, hope for good.
Hope for what?
Hope for good.
Come on.
And for everlasting joy and mercy. Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in Yahweh and was confounded?
Now is that they're asking, did any of our forefathers ever go before the Most High and they prayed and the Most High forsook them? No. So we go to the Most High in prayer and in faith that what? As being obedient servants, that the Most High is going to deliver us in our time of need, in our time of trouble. Okay, come on.
Or did any abide in fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him?
Right, so this is a question. Okay, hold on. Give me Romans 15, verse 4. Romans 15 and 4. So let's ask these questions. Has anyone been forsaken that called on the Most High, that waited on his tender mercies? No. Come on.
Romans 15, verse 4. And whatsoever thing was written aforetime was written for our learning.
Written for what?
Written for our learning.
That's why it's telling you, it's giving an example about looking back in the Old Testament, or about past or forefathers. Has anyone that had waited upon or went to the Most High, okay, were they ever not answered? No. So the Bible is for what? It's an example for us. Okay. This is where we base our faith, our understanding. We don't see the Most High person. Okay, we don't see him in person. We communicate with the Most High through his words. Okay, the Mashiach Yahushua said what? I come in the volume of the book. Okay, the Messiah said, if you see me, you see my Father which is in heaven. He said, I speak not my words, but who? The Father which has sent me. Okay, read that again.
Romans 15, verse 4. And whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning.
So it's written for our learning. But how many of us are learning? Okay, we gotta apply what we're reading. What's the purpose of reading this stuff and we're not applying it? Don't you know this word is a top knowledge on the earth? This is what sets us apart from all the other nations. Okay, just like we see in the past, how in these ancient kingdoms, what made Daniel and Isaiah and all these men stand up? Okay, the Spirit of the Most High. Daniel was second in command in the kingdom. Moses. All these men were exceptional. Why? Because they had the Spirit of the Most High. The Lord set the commandments. So this is what's going to set you apart from everybody else. When it comes time when Mashiach Yahushua is handing out the crowns, there's going to be different type of crowns of gold, silver, bronze, wood. Which crown do you desire? Do you even desire a crown? Okay. Can I see some people? Sometimes I wonder. Sometimes I see people just going through the motions. Do you really want to be here? Do you really want the kingdom? Do you really want to perfect your gift that the Most High gave you? Okay. I love to see people slack. I take up what they don't do. I'll take it up. I'll do it. Okay. We have to make our election sure. Don't strive for 1/3. Strive for 144,000. Okay. That means putting in extra work. Just like when you were in school, when you were taking your test, you did the what? You did the extra credit question. Because you were trying to achieve more than the regular person. This is what you got to do. If you did that in the world, in school, why can't you do that for the Most High? Why can't you give the Most High that extra credit work? Like we were reading earlier about when the Israel brought their increase to the priests, they brought what? They brought the best. Not with something that you didn't. I don't want this at home, so I'm gonna bring it to the sanctuary. Or the date is expired on it. Let me bring it to the church. Okay, we gave the best what we had to the sanctuary and bring it before the priest. So we got to keep that same mindset. Okay, let's go back to Sirach.
All right, Sirach
11.
11. For the Most High is full of compassion and merciful, long-suffering and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins and saveth in time of affliction.
See, saveth in a time of affliction. When you're at your lowest moment and you think the Most High forgot about you, there He is. You ever seen that thing when they got the footprint? Okay. The Mashak said, well, you only saw one print because why I was carrying you. We don't make this thing through our own. It's only through the Most High's tender mercy and compassion. Why, I don't know everybody's problem here. But I'm sure, somebody, you have something on your mind today, but you still took it upon yourself to make it to this holy convocation. And some of you probably went through hell to get here, and you made it. Okay? All of us have different energies pulling us from all over the place. And by coincidence, okay, it only happens when the Shabbat occurs. Okay, all through the week, everything is good. But when the Shabbat comes, all havoc breaks loose. Never fails. Okay? So that's why we start with the day of preparation. When is it that the day of preparation begin?
Thursday.
Okay, so on Thursday, start getting yourself ready for the Sabbath. Okay, try to get everything out of the way that needs to be done so you have the Shabbat free. Okay, don't wait till like Friday when it's almost sundown that you're trying to prepare for the Sabbath. It's not a surprise. It's every week the same time, Friday to Sabbath. Okay, it's not like it's a surprise like is the Sabbath next week, but you know what it is. So you get your preparation together. Okay, come on.
Verse 12. Woe be to the fearful heart.
Right, so that woe is talking about what? Destruction. It said, woe be to the fearful heart. We can't be fearful. Okay? We have to take on the heart of a lion, and lion is when we're dealing with this truth. Come on.
And faint hands.
Mm-hmm.
And the sinner that goeth two ways.
Right, the sinner that goeth two ways, meaning what? Being double-minded. Okay, one day you in the spirit, next day you out of the spirit. Okay, in the club. A brother came up to me one time, and I was in the city, and he was like asking me, "Is there a scripture on smoking weed?" Right. So I noticed when the brother came, he pulled his shirt out of a bag with his fringes on it. So I said to the brother, I said, "Well, let me ask you a question. When you're going to buy a bag of weed, do you have your fringes on you?" And he said, "No." And I said, "That's telling you right there you're doing something that you know they shouldn't be doing, because why? Why the Most High tells us to wear fringes, borders, and blue? Remind me to keep the commandments." So sometimes, in Israel, they're looking for some type of scapegoat, some kind of way to get out of it, but your own spirit will convict you. So he went to go buy the bag of weed, smoked it, and then he put his shirt over the fringes. But he knew not to go buy the bag of weed with his fringes on. Okay? So we know these things are incorrect. We don't, Israel looking for a specific verse. Thou shalt not smoke weed. You're not going to find that scripture, thou shalt not smoke weed. Okay? Israel is always looking for some type of excuse, scapegoat, something to get out of it. Okay? But your spirit bear witness what is right or wrong. Okay, that's where we have to rely on the Holy Spirit. But now, if we're continually in transgression, the Most High is not going to dwell in you. Okay, so we have to continue to rehearse these righteous acts. Come on.
Also again, woe be to the fearful hearts and faint hands, and the sinner that goeth two ways.
Double-minded, come on.
Woe unto him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not. Therefore shall he not be defended.
Right, faint-hearted, you're not believing. You know, you went away, you came back. Okay, you have to make your foundation. Okay, we're not teaching him, oh, everybody got to come to LOZ to be saved. No, there's different Knesset, different congregations out there. We realize that. The Most High is going to take a chosen few from every congregation. If anybody teach you that only their congregation is going to be saved, that man is a liar. Okay? So the Most High is going to pull a chosen few out of every congregation that is found worthy, and the Most High have mercy upon that soul. Come on.
Woe unto you that have lost patience.
That have what?
Have lost patience.
So we talked about that earlier about what? By having that patience. If you lose patience and go out of here, you're not gonna get the glory. So we gotta have that patience. Okay? Pace yourself. Come on.
And what will ye do when the Most High shall visit you?
Come on.
They that fear Yahweh will not disobey his word, and they that love him will keep his ways.
Right, so what are the ways of the Most High? Huh? What are the ways of the Most High? Keeping his laws, statutes, commandments. Okay? Keeping his laws, statutes, commandments. Come on.
They that fear Yahweh will seek that which is well pleasing unto him.
Right, so we want to do the things that's pleasing to the Most High. Okay, let's see. So give me a Sirach. Sirach. Sirach 25 and 1.
Surah 25 verse 1.
Come on.
In three things I was beautified and still beautiful both before Yahweh and man.
So three things without beautified is still beautiful before the Most High man. Come on.
The unity of brethren.
The what?
The unity of brethren.
So if you notice, we incorporated Psalms 133 in our opening prayer. So the Most High loves the unity of brethren in righteousness. So the Most High, we see two congregations united today. The Most High is beautified. Okay, the Most High, the angels are shining down there. They're smiling right now. Okay, read that again.
In three things I was beautified and stood beautiful before man and before Yahweh and man.
Okay.
The unity of brethren.
Come on.
The love of neighbors.
The what?
The love of neighbors.
Right, the love of neighbors. Look at when we had the break, how everybody's communing with each other, talking, getting to know each other. Okay? The love of neighbors. Who's your neighbor? Fellow Israelite.
That's right.
Okay? We are neighbors. Okay? Come on.
A man and a wife that agreeth together.
Right, so that's not normal in this society. But the Most High is beautified when a man and woman are in one accord. Okay, in this society, we are taught to go against each other. We are taught to have different views. Okay, but the Most High said he's beautified when a man and woman are in agreement. Okay, they're in shalom, they're in peace. The Most High is beautified with that. Okay, so these three things, we got to keep them. These three things, the Most High is beautified. And we fulfill these three today. Okay, we fulfill three of those things. Let's go back to Sirach 2.
Sirach 2 verse 17. They that fear Yahweh will prepare their hearts and humble their souls in his sight, saying, we will fall into the hands of the Lord and not into the hands of men. For as his majesty is, so is his mercy.
Right, so we got to constantly endure, put ourselves in the hand of the Most High, that He will cover us. You know, asking, you know, in your prayer, asking the Most High have angels encamped around you. But with that, you got to be fearful and keep His commandments. One last, give me Romans 8:35 and 39.
Romans 8, verse 35. Who shall separate us from the love of Yahushua? Shall tribulation or distress or persecution or famine or nakedness or peril or sword?
So now we got to understand and identify that all these things that we just read about, these are tools of Satan. Okay? All these things we just read are some of the things that people came in this word and went back out because they were not able to stand when these afflictions came upon them, when they were put through that furnace of affliction, okay, through that adversity. Read that again. Some of us probably dealing with some of these things as we speak. Read it again.
Who shall separate us from the love of Yahushua? Shall tribulation or distress or persecution or famine or nakedness or peril or sword?
Right, I mean, years ago, we used to go downtown, Broward, we used to teach. And we would come back, and there would be homeless people that would come back and keep service with us. And some of them you wouldn't know that they were homeless. Some of them, you know, we used to, the food that they ate would be the food for the first time that we offered them. So a lot of, you know, you're going to meet people from all different walks of life that are being persecuted, that famine, don't have a roof over their head. And a lot of us, we complain about the things that we don't have, but we don't think the most out of the stuff that we do have. So we gotta stop being ungrateful. Okay, come on.
Verse 36. As it is written, for thy sake we are killed all the day long. We are counted as sheep for the slaughter.
Right, so Israel, we are the sheep to the slaughter. All nations on earth take us as a prey. They come in our neighborhoods, they got, as you can see, you know, we have drugs, prostitution in this community. Okay? But we're able to reach a lot of our people here. But these are the affliction that's put upon us as a name. These are the curses that fall upon us. Come on.
Verse 37. Nay, in all these things we are more than conquerors through him that loved us. For I am persuaded that neither death nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor power, nor things present or things to come, nor height, nor depth, nor any other creature shall be able to separate us from the love of Yahweh, which is in Hamashiach Yahushua, our Adawan.
So how many people here are able to say that boldly today? That any of these things come upon that, you're not going to forsake the Most High.
Good.
Okay. That's the level you got to get yourself to, because again, don't think it's a strange thing when you see things happen to you. Oh, why me? Okay, I thought I was in the truth. It's not supposed to happen to me. Okay, none of us are untouchable. Okay, none of us are untouchable. But we have to make sure that we have the right tools. Give me Ephesians. Okay, you hear something?
I want that.
Okay, go ahead.
Just to sum up what he's just bringing out, let's get Second Ezra. Uh, 7 and 6.
Second Ezra 7 verse 6. Second Ezra 7 and 6. There is also another thing. A city is builded and set upon a broad field, And it's full of all good things.
Right. So what city is full of all good things? What city is that talking about? Huh? What do you say? Jerusalem. America is full of disgusting things. All right, we're talking about Jerusalem, Israel, the kingdom. It's full of all good things. Everything in there is good. It's truly all good. Right? They say it's all good today, but it's not all good. Right? The kingdom is all good. So this city is set in a broad field, and it's full of all good things. Read on.
The entrance thereof is narrow.
But the entrance to get into the city is very narrow. Read on.
And it's set in a dangerous place to fall.
And you know what? It's a dangerous place where this entrance is. And you can fall. You can fall out of the way. You can hurt yourself. Read on.
Like as if there were a fire on the right hand, and on the left,
on the right hand, read.
And on the left a deep water.
And deep water on the left. So you either could drown or get burnt up. So this is a very dangerous path. Right? Very narrow. Read on.
And only one path between them both, even between the fire and the water.
Right, and listen, there's no other way through but to pass near this fire and near this deep water to get through. You know?
So small that there could but one man go there at once.
And nobody can even help you through. You're on your own to get through this dangerous way. Read on.
If this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance.
Now this city, if you were supposed to give it to you, because we're all supposed to inherit this city, con? We're in this for the kingdom, con? So you're supposed to obtain in that which you're seeking, which is the kingdom of heaven. But what? There's a dangerous place that you got to pass in order to obtain this kingdom. Here's the question. Read on.
If he never shall pass the danger set before it.
If you avoid the danger and say, listen, that's too dangerous, I can't do that. If you avoid the affliction, if you avoid the problem, if you avoid the argument or the situation or the discomfort, if you avoid all these things, read on.
How shall he receive this inheritance?
How are you going to get the kingdom? There's only one way in. So all to sum up, what Reese is bringing out is that all these things may come upon you for you to what? You got to go through it. Not for you to give up, not for you to get distracted, but obtain the city in which thou seeking. Obtain that salvation in which you seek it. Don't fall short. Because you can run a long race very well, but if you fall on your face before the finish line, then what happens? Right? You get nothing. So what's the purpose of it all? Continue endure to the end. Huh? Is that it?
One last. Ephesians 6 and 10.
Come. Ephesians 6, verse 10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in Yahweh and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of Yahweh.
Right, so what is armor used for?
Protection.
For protection, right? So it says, put on the armor of the Most High, come on.
That ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil.
That ye may be able to stand against the devil. So you can't go fight the devil without having your armor and your protection. Why? Because you're going to get defeated. Come on.
For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world.
Of which world?
Of this world.
Come on.
Against spiritual wickedness in high places.
Right, so this is not a carnal fight. This is a spiritual fight. We got to understand that. Okay, everything we go through in life is spiritual. You might see a person may be dealing with you, but it's not that person. Okay, it's a spirit that's in them. Okay, a lot of times emotions are spirits. Okay, just by a person getting emotional can throw your whole day off, whatever. But that's a spirit. Okay, that's why the Bible tells us to do what? To not to lean upon our own understanding. Okay, the Most High is not dealing with our emotions. Okay, we ought to be obedient to his laws, statutes, commandments. Come on.
Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of your house,
So now we're going to find out what the armor of the Most High is. Read.
that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day,
Mhm.
and having done all to stand. Stand therefore having your loins girt about with truth.
So what is truth? Because some people say, well, you have your truth and I have my truth. So I went to camp when the guy said truth. You got a truth with a big T and a little T. Okay. Can everybody have their own truth?
No.
Okay. So what is truth according to the Bible? The Lord, statutes, and commandments. The big T, right? Not the little T. I mean, just when you thought you heard, when I heard that one, I laughed the whole day. You said there's a truth with a big T and a little T. You know, when you go do street ministry, you hear the wildest things. Come on.
And having on the breastplate of righteousness,
Come on.
and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace.
So now the righteousness, a lot of these gospel songs, they profess of righteousness, but righteousness is to do what? To keep the Lord's statutes and commandments.
Right.
Okay, come on.
Above all, taking the shield of faith.
The shield of what?
Shield of faith.
So this is most of our foundation of our belief, faith in the Most High, Mashiach Yahushua. Okay, that we're going to get the kingdom. Even the disciples that followed the Mashiach, they didn't get to see the kingdom, right? They were all killed. But what did the Most High tell them? What did the Mashiach Yahushua tell the disciples? So what are we going to get? We forsake all. We left our families. We gave up our houses. What did he tell them? Who knows? Huh? Something like that. You were here. All right. Huh? 100-fold. Anybody got a verse for me?
Matthew 19:28.
Well, let's get that. It seems like people was like wondering what it is. Start from 27.
Matthew 19, verse 27. And answered Peter and said unto him, Behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have therefore?
So, a lot of us here today, we ask the same question, right? Our families, a lot of us, our families ridicule us. Some of us got kicked out of our houses. Some of us lost our spouses for this truth. So, okay, so what is the outcome? Is there going to be a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow? Let's see, read.
And Yahushua said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration when...
So what does regeneration mean? Reborn, come again. He said, follow me in regeneration, come on.
When the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel.
So he said, you're going to sit on 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. So that was what? That was a future prophecy. That they're going to sit on 12 thrones in the kingdom of heaven, established where? Right here on earth. So a lot of us are doing what? We are storing up our treasures right now in heaven. The things that don't you know, just like we're reading about the days of old, Jeremiah, Isaiah, the things that they did, many of us are going to be written. There's going to be another testament that's going to be written. Many of the works that we did today is going to be written in that book. You don't want to be written in there that so-and-so went off or so-and-so was lazy and slothful. Okay? You want good things to be written about you in that book. Come? Okay, so that's why we gotta do what? We gotta make our election sure. Okay, put that work in. Okay, get this word out. Okay, that the 144,000 be sealed. That's what's holding back all the destruction. The 144,000 being sealed. Once the 144,000 man is sealed, all hell is going to break loose on the earth. Okay. Huh.
This is going to be a dumb question, but I just want to.
There's no question that's dumb.
So, because I was getting the 144,000 confused with the 1/3. Those are two different
The
numbers.
144,000 is part of the 1/3.
Oh, okay, so it's not
Okay.
the same thing. It's actually 1/3 is actually a large number. Okay.
Because the 144,000 represent what? It represents the ruling government. But that's like the cream of the crop. Okay, they're the cream of the crop of the 1/3.
So for example, if it's 2 million of that 2 million is
But the 144,000 are made up of men. When you read the book of Revelation, 7th chapter, it's not when the saints go marching, I want to be in that number. The 144,000 are men. No, I'm just being specific. I didn't say I had a problem with it. Just being specific. In case somebody's on the YouTube thinking they they can be part 144,000. Well, you might not have a problem, but there's some people that have problems with that. You know what I'm saying? We rebuke that with the word of the Most High. Okay, so, I'm just a messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. All right, so 144,000 is men. All right, so let's, we almost finished here.
Read that verse. Verse 29. And everyone that hath forsaken house, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake, shall receive 100-fold.
Shall receive what?
100-fold.
Right, so you can't be worried about what you lost. Some of you crying over past relationship or something. I mean, a lot of times also I put something better before you. Okay? So we got to be able to put our trust in the Most High. We can't be afraid to lose what we're going to gain. Okay, if you lost one, but you're getting 100-fold, that's a good odd. Okay, that's a good odd. But it got to be done. It got to be done what? In righteousness. Okay, it got to be done in righteousness. That's we got to understand that.
And shall inherit everlasting life.
Shall inherit what?
Everlasting life.
So that's what we're looking for, that everlasting life, that eternal life. Okay, because right here in America, the lifespan is very short. And they try to kill us in every way. The food that we eat, the air we breathe, the water. Okay, mainly what's destroyed here? The minds of people. Okay. Somebody had a picture there, I think it was two twins. They used to be a girl, now most of them got like this transgender thing. You used to have, back in the day, you say look for the Adam's apple. You can't even do that no more. Operations. You can't even tell no more. You gotta ask for like baby pictures, like.
The bonus I give is a play, man. You gotta speak to those parents, man. That's why I say you're supposed to get with no woman, or woman supposed to get with no man, and you're not supposed to those parents.
Right.
You don't know what you got. Your parents will give you a little heads up, right? Listen there, my son, and you're like, your son. You take another look over there, like, what? Right? So if you don't talk to the parents, you know what I mean? You met somebody, or nowadays it's online or whatever you be. You gotta talk to them parents, man. Right now, you know what you got. Now, what you're dealing with.
Yeah, but you better hope that the parents is not perverted because they probably accepted it.
Yeah, they accepted it. They'll let you know. Yeah, he was a soft boy, and he grew up to be a beautiful woman. Right? And said, all right, you got your answer. All right, shalom. Right? That's it. This conversation. Okay. You don't talk to the parents, man. You have nobody to attest for this person growing up. Man, you're in trouble. All right? Get catfished out there, man. All right? Go ahead. All right, go ahead. So, what else you got?
This is finished Ephesians.
Ephesians?
15th verse.
All right. Back to Ephesians 6, verse 15. It reads, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace.
Well, that gospel is the good news. The good news that what? That the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Come on.
Above all, take the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked.
Right, so those darts are being shot at us on every day. Okay, so we gotta be able to dodge those bullets. Come on.
And take the helmet of salvation, and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of Yahweh.
Right, the sword of the Spirit is the word of the Most High. That's why a lot of times we do street ministry. What do people say? Don't read out the Bible. Tell us your own words. What? I mean, it's like I see it all the time. It's like don't sing out. And these are supposed to be Christian people. Okay, Holy Rose every Sunday. They say, don't tell us with your own word. Don't read out the Bible, tell us with your own words. But the scriptures say what? Let the Most High word be true, but every man alike, that thou might be justified.
Or when you do mention the Bible, they say that's not correct because I read this article and this man said such and I'm like, because I got into a battle with somebody about that. Father, I couldn't take it anymore. And I told him everything that I'm mentioning comes from what God said. Everything you're mentioning comes from what some article of what man said. Who's in charge, God or man? And when I said that, he shut up.
Well, we ought to obey God rather than men. Okay, rather obey the Most High rather than men. Come on.
Verse 18. Praying always with all prayer and supplication to the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints.
Right, so it says prayer continually. Okay, so we want to make sure that we walk in the the righteousness of the Most High. That when we do pray, that the Most High answers our prayers. You don't want to be praying and then the Most High ignores you. That when you call his phone, he changes his number, he blocks you. Okay, you want to make sure when you call him that he answers your phone call. Okay, so I pray everyone got something out of this message. Spirit will we just go through that. Again, I want to thank the congregation for convocating with us today, and pray that it's the beginning of a bright future.
All right, so at this point we do announcements. What's the day of the next new moon? Let's mention the Feast of Tabernacles. All right, we hold a Feast of Tabernacles at Quiet Waters Park every year. Those of you should have already rented your tents. If you have not rented your tents, rent your tent so that you have your spot. Okay. How many of you already rented tents already? By a show of hands. You already bought your tent. All right. So only got 2 hands so far. We got to get it together because I don't want to hear the time come close and everybody's scrambling. If you cannot rent it yet for the whole week, rent for a few days. Okay. And then in the midst, as the time gets closer, fill in the days in between. This way nobody else come and rent that tent. All right. All right, it's only $35 a night or $25 on the weekdays. Rent a couple of $25 nights. This way, for the week, when you come closer to the feast, nobody's going to rent it in between your days. Right? And you grab your tent. So again, Quiet Waters Park, and that's September 22nd to the 29th. Okay, September 22nd to the 29th. We will be in the park keeping tabernacles. All week. It's going to be a beautiful experience. It always is. So make sure you're there. And of course, everybody's welcome. If you have your plans for tabernacles, but you're also welcome to come through and keep tabernacles with us out in the park. All right, we do dwelling booths. Right, come out of your seal houses and your king size beds. Right, and dwelling booths as Israel is supposed to. Because we got to be able to give up, and it's just to teach you to give up the dainties of this wicked kingdom and what? Be willing to bring yourself down to dwelling in a tent, showing that the Most High, I'm ready to get out of here. I don't care if I got to be in a tent. As long as it's outside of here, we okay. All right? Let me say something. No, I'm gonna put it up again. No, we put it last time. It's all right.
So if you don't have a whole family, the tents comfortably hold 4 people. So if you're a single person, you can get with another brother. You divide that by 4, that's less than $8 a day. You know, for the week, that's about what, $35, $40 for the week. That's less to feed an Ethiopian in a month. So, so let's get it done. Break things down like simple.
75 cents. He's a whole family. He's over there like, ain't none of that money go here. All that money people go right in their pocket. Alright, so we also have we have some other announcements. We have a wedding coming up in Israel. April the 7th, 2019 is going to be the wedding of Emmanuel and Makita. All right, yeah. Okay. Peace to Hun and myself will preside over that marriage ceremony. It's going to be held, okay, at a beach. I cannot see what it says. Something of Grill Beach. What is it? Pass Grill? All right, Pass Grill Beach, Gulf Way and 3rd Ave. Oh, these are wrong color listed. Gulf Ave in St. Pete's. St. Pete Beach, Florida. St. Pete Beach, Florida. Okay? So it's going to be up in St. Pete's. All right? You say what? So it's going to be a wedding on April 7th, save the date, as well as we have here a RSVP sheet here. So any brothers and sisters that plan on attending this event, please come up with your name on here. Your email address is on the sheet right here, right? So that we'll have a record, and then you'll be contacted with more information. But again, it's the wedding of Emmanuel and Makita, and it'll be on April the 7th, 2019. Okay? All right, yeah. All right, so, we promote weddings and marriage in Israel, right? Because it's very important in the building of the kingdom, all right? This is part of our heritage. It's not Esau's heritage to have a marriage ceremony. That's our heritage. Right. All right? Esau done perverted marriage. We know what real marriage. Real marriage is forever. Real marriage is between a man and a woman. Right. Okay? So we're not concerned with Esau's paper, right? But we do are concerned with Israel building their families all right? And our families must be built all right? A right family. Because what is a nation but a collective of families? Right? The nation started with one family. It was our father Jacob, Israel, right? And what? His 4 wives and his 12 children. And that's where we all come from. Everybody understand that? So that's the nucleus of the nation of Israel. Okay? You gotta always look at things and where it began. That's marriage right there. All right? He had his wives, he had his children, and he had his family that grew quickly and vastly in the land. So that's what we're promoting here in Light of Zion. We're promoting marriage and family and wives and children and building the kingdom. You know what I mean? That's another way you build a kingdom, by adding on to the kingdom. Okay? Right. So in the spirit of nowadays, we're pushing our daughters to not want to have children. You know what I mean? That's an abomination. Our daughter's supposed to want to have children. Okay? Now, if you have a child or not, that's up to the Most High, but you're supposed to want to have children. Okay? That's the problem. So, and also our men, you gotta want to be husbands and fathers. Everybody understand that? Right. This is what builds your manhood. Right? That you're a husband and a father. That you know how to till your house and your family. Okay? So that's up to the Most High, whether you receive it, but you're supposed to want to do it. You're supposed to have that zeal to do it. Okay? Whether you get it or not, that's the Most High. Right? Give the Most High his part. Right? But you do your part. Okay? So with that being said, any other announcements? We just had new moon. It was an epic new moon. It was a beautiful service. Everybody came out, and it was food nonstop. So we're going to continue in that way, in that spirit for the next new moon. We continue to serve the Most High from new moon to new moon, from Sabbath to Sabbath. Any other announcements you think of? We already spoke about the gift concert. Was great in California. Mashallah Yasharala. Summit is coming up in August, right? August 9th, right? August 9th, and it's going to be in Detroit, Michigan. All right, Detroit, Michigan. All right, so if you got plans to be in Detroit, or if you want to come to the next summit, it's going to be in Detroit, Michigan. It's going to be the 9th through the 12th. All right, from the 9th to the 12th. All right, which is on Friday.
Thursday to Sunday.
Right, Thursday to Sunday. I had to look down for a moment. All right. As it always is. Right, so for the 9th to the 12th in Detroit, Michigan, it's going to be a great event. As you know, we are part of Mashallah Yasharala. We represent, so anybody wants to go to that event, let us know, or we'll help you with the travel arrangements and things of that sort. What else we got coming up?
Myself and my are still the reigning space champions. Smashing left and
I
right.
gotta get back on that table. That's right.
We'll see you next new moon.
All right. All right.
Oh, brother.
I think that's it. Any other announcements that we should know about from the congregation? Right? Anybody, any children on the way? Any new marriages brewing? Anybody want anything to know that you want to find out after it's all done? Right? Because they are Israelites. Israel tell you after. Israel got a bad habit of telling you after stuff. Hey, stuff already went down. We told nothing. All right. So with that being said, Imagine will point out your Jerusalem, stand and face Jerusalem. We'll close the prayers and the praise. Hallelujah!
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 Who's the power?
Yahweh's the power.
Who's the power?
Yahweh's the power.
Parachute?
Yahweh shot.
Parachute?
Yahweh shot.
Bless, bless, bless.
Bless, bless, bless.
Bless, bless, bless.
Bless, bless, bless.
Holy, holy, holy.
Holy, holy, holy.
Is the name.
Is the name.
I'm a Noah.
I'm a Noah.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Holy, holy, holy.
Holy, holy, holy.
Is the name.
Is the name.
Mashiach.
Mashiach.
Yahweh
Shai.
Who am I know Yahweh?
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 Who am Mashiach Yahweh?
Who am Mashiach Yahushua?
Who am Mashiach Yahweh?
Who am Mashiach Yahushua?
Who am Yeshua?
Who am Yeshua?
Who am Yeshua?
Who am Yeshua?
Welcome to Yahweh.
Welcome to Yahweh.
Hashem.
Hashem.
Mashiach.
Mashiach.
Yahweh.
Yahushua.
Hawa'ah.
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 Hashabbat.
Hashabbat.
Hashalom.
Hashalom.
Hawa'ah.
Hawa'ah.
Shemai.
Shemai.
Yakulayim.
Yakulayim.
Barak.
Barak.
Barapah.
Barapah.
Rakazak.
Rakazak.
Ramadan.
Ramadan.
Washma'ayim.
Washma'ayim.
Akim.
Akim.
Wah.
Wah.
Akwakim.
Akwakim.
Rabbusah.
Rabbusah.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Hashem.
Hashem.
Mashiach.
Mashiach.
Yahushai.
Yahushai.
Yochak.
Yochak.
Shaitan.
Shaitan.
Yochak.
Yochak.
Shaitan.
Shaitan.
Yochak.
Yochak.
Ho.
Ho.
Right.
Right.
Hey.
Right.
Yochak.
Yochak.
Ho.
Ho.
Right.
Right.
Hey.
Right.
Rabbusah.
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 Yahushua.
All praises be to the power of Almighty for Jacob, who is mercy true and endure forever. We thank you, Lord, for giving us the Shabbat day of peace. We ask of Yahweh for you to heal, bless, protect, and make strong the children of Israel, all the brothers and the sisters. And for Yahweh, we also ask that you kill all evil spirits from in the midst of Israel. But we shut Satan out from the midst of our people. God, we shall how we ask you to continue to hear the prayer and the supplication of thy saints, to bless all thy little sanctuaries throughout the four corners of the earth, and pour thy spirit upon the children of Israel. All those that have not heard thy word, we pray, Yahweh, that they hear thy word by the mouth of thy prophets, and that they repent speedily and come in and serve thee. All this we ask in the name of thy Son, Hamashiach Yahushua. Let all that have breath praise Yahweh. Hallelujah. Let all that have breath praise Yahweh. Hallelujah. Let all that have breath praise Yahweh. Hallelujah. Hamashiach Yahushua, Tuwala Tiyad, Amen. Amen. Hallelujah. Give us our hand. Hallelujah. In the mouth of faith, Yahweh perfected praise. In the mouth of faith, Yahweh perfected praise. In the mouth of faith, Yahweh perfected praise. Hallelujah, hallelujah. In the mouth of faith, Yahweh perfected praise. In the mouth of faith, Yahweh perfected praise. In the mouth of faith, Yahweh perfected praise. Hallelujah, hallelujah. In the mouth of faith, Yahweh perfected praise. In the mouth of faith, Yahweh perfected praise. In the mouth of faith, Yahweh perfected praise. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah, hallelujah. We'll try to be our ruler. Our enemies shall fall. Happy, happy, let them say, so much glory, glory, hallelujah, hallelujah, Yah. We'll try to be our ruler. Enemies shall fall. Happy, happy, let them say, so much glory, glory, hallelujah, hallelujah, Yah. We'll try to be our ruler. Our enemies shall fall. Happy, happy, let us say, so happy. Hold on. Let us say, so happy. On and on and on and on. Let us say, so happy. There's no power like Yahweh, breaking of the universe, always doing wondrous things. When all is blessing, amen. Hallelujah, 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 amen, amen, hallelujah, hallelujah. There's no power like Yahweh, breaking of the universe, always doing wondrous things. And always blessing me. Amen, 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 amen. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Amen. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Abraham. Thank you.